All right, joining us today, head coach Miles Kochevar. Coach, just give us kind of a quick recap of the game up in South Dakota. I think all of us felt it the same, but probably no more than you.
Yeah, no, that one hurt as we went up there, and we knew it was going to be tough. Well coached team, physical team. Thought they have to coach Floor and his guys. They did a good job. But it's this game's funny as you go about it. It's always going to come down to 5 or 6 plays and have an opportunity to create some momentum, spring something here or there, whether it's offense or defense. We have plenty of opportunities that we left out there. So we've kind of been built on that this year is being able to capitalize and get that swing of momentum going in our favor. And on Saturday, we weren't able to make those plays when they presented themselves. You got a veteran secondary that I all know have a knot in their stomach, sick from opportunities that hit them in the hands, hit them in the chest. And I think each one of them had a drop that we could have capitalized on. We've been accustomed to finding a way to break a run, break a explosive play on offense, and we were unable to do that. So, it just you kept waiting for that opportunity, or waiting for somebody else to make it. And what I told the team, and that there's a time where you got to grit your teeth a little bit. You got to make that happen and force the issue at hand. Sometimes, and we were unable to do that on Saturday. And then didn't tackle as well as we needed to. Wet conditions, we talked about taking the extra step, making sure we get an extra hat to the ball, and they did a good job of running through some one-on-one tackles and creating extra yardage and hidden yardage, and that ultimately bit us in the butt. But never gave up. There's some positives that you take from it as you continue to mature as a team. You continue to learn each and every week. And fought back and had an opportunity at the end and had to get 2 onside kicks, found a way to do that. And then ultimately just weren't able to capitalize on that 2-minute drill and put 3 points on the board to be able to force overtime or find the end zone to win.
And then looking ahead to this weekend, still a lot on the table. I mean, even after loss, a lot on the table. You see the rankings; it's razor thin still. A win still gives you an opportunity to possibly make the postseason.
Yeah.
And not only that, against a rival. Just talk about the motivation that these guys that should have this week.
Yeah, I don't think that'll lack with this group and where we're at and some of the maturity that's already taken place. I think they're going to be hungry to be able to get back out on the field and just make right what we left out there last week. So we get one more guaranteed opportunity. We got to make the most of it. So it's really gone back to focusing on controlling the controllables. We've got to create some explosive plays. We got to find ways to get off the field, give our offensive ball as many times as we can. We've got to find a way to get Western real and get them on their heels a little bit and be able to attack them. So we've got to do a good job of putting a complete game plan together and then being able to go out and execute it. They're hungry as well. They're playing for a playoff bid. So we want to make it hard. We want to be able to disrupt this thing. We want to find a way to go and get a win and then make the committee have to decide where we end up. That's all that we can worry about is what we control right now. And that's finding a way to beat Western. Something we haven't been able to do for, a group of seniors that's going to go out in their last game against Western. They haven't had the opportunity to beat them. We got to find a way to get that done and send them out on the right foot. So a lot to play for, like you said, Dave. So just excited to watch these guys come together and find a way to get it done.
I'm not asking you to give away the game plan, but maybe what's one of the keys that you'll need to be successful on Saturday?
Well, I think the biggest thing as you look at it and the positive that you take from last Saturday is Leslie was able to come back in and kind of get his bearings back. It was good to be able to see him kind of be where he left off when he got injured. And, so being able to use what we have, we're going to need everybody. So I think this is a game where you can't hold anything back. So being able to use both quarterbacks, having a plan for that, an effective plan where we can utilize both of their strengths and then really get them on their heels. I think that's our best way to go about it. Then we've got to find a way to limit Nash and what he does. I think he's very similar. I believe he's the best quarterback in the conference this year. So he does a good job of distributing the ball, and then he's a good runner. very deceiving in that. Very similar to Leslie in body type, and then they still are very nimble with their feet. So we've got to find a way to throw him off kilter and create some looks that um, make him confused and hopefully can throw us a few balls in our direction. And then we got to capitalize on those this week.
I say the way the guys have grown throughout the year, more and more confidence, and then to get kind of punched in the face a little bit, you know, you don't. It's nice to have a rival at the end like this, because that part takes care of itself. But how do you kind of get them back on their feet, especially the young guys?
Yeah. Well, those are the ones that I'm really not too worried. Those guys really know no different right now, and they're going to go out and they want to compete. They're trying to fight to get more playing time and contribute in every way possible. So, the big thing is how do we respond, right? Things didn't go our way. There's as you continue to mature as a team and we want to become a championship level team, you've got to find a way to win ugly games. And, that had been a prime example Saturday, and we let that one slip away. But you also have to have a short-term memory. You got to be able to put it behind you. You got to move on to the next one and find a way to get back on track as quick as you can. And this is a finicky game, football. And at one moment you're riding the wave, and then you come crashing down. Well, I got to get back up, and just finding a way for these guys to respond to that. You couldn't really ask for a better opponent, because if you don't come ready, Western will put it on you. So. We've made sure that they understand that message and what's at stake for Saturday. There's really not holding anything back. This is a playoff game for us, so embrace it. This is what we've been working for, is to be able to play meaningful football games in November, and nothing bigger than this one.
Yeah, and you look at how Coach Baines has kind of built his program is very similar to the way you're building yours. I mean, all from within. A few transfers here and there, and wasn't too long ago where they really were struggling, and then to see them do that, it's one of those things where it's like step by step, and this is just kind of like you said, meaningful games in November is that next step for this group.
Yep, exactly, and he's done a good job of staying the course. Could have been easy to really fold and just start taking transfers and doing that stuff, but stayed true to who they were, built a great program, and they've been pretty dominant for the last few years here. So, as you look at that and as we continue to build, you kind of mimic them in a way. So it's time that in order for us to get where we want to go, we got to find a way to beat them. So that's kind of where we're at. And as we look at it, we're just excited for Saturday. So
we were talking about how there's 8 different ways, the team can get motivated for this game. Is part of the motivation, hey, we have a shot at the playoffs, we just got to win and see what happens? Or is it more, hey, we can ruin things for Western here, we can take them out of the equation altogether?
Yeah, I think it's mainly still focused on us. Let's finish this thing. We're continuing to grow, and we want to finish this thing on a high note. That's the biggest thing. Find a way to get that 8th win and be huge as we continue to build and grow. So I think our biggest motivation is within. These guys are, have that sour taste from last week. So finding a way to go and get it done. Western didn't play their best football last week. They've still found a way to win, and that's what championship teams do. So we got to find a way to knock them off and find a way to continue to grow.
And then in a situation coming off like this last game where obviously you never want to lose, but maybe in terms of going into the footage, do you feel like there's more to grow off of and like help the team develop with, when maybe it's, hey, we have some stuff to improve on, maybe more than in the film of a game where we kind of rolled over the other team?
Yeah, and you got to have that next guy up mentality. And we had some guys that got forced into action last week and maybe didn't think they were going to play, and then certain things happen. And so I think it's an eye-opener that every rep counts, every opportunity that you get at practice each day. We have to have better intent in what we do, and that's been a big message this week as we've gone about it. Every time that I get the opportunity to go and block or whatever it is, I've got to do it like it's going to be the game changer. That one catch, can I break that? I got to do it like I'm trying to score. I got to make sure that I'm able to capitalize on opportunities, and that comes during the week. How do I practice? How do I prepare each rep? So we're really trying to focus on our intent and being intentional in everything that we do this week.
And then just how special is it? You mentioned the seniors already, that you have this matchup to end the regular season. Gunnison, I believe, is the closest geographically, right? So probably going to have a pretty good crowd. It's going to be packed. Everyone knows what's at stake at this game. How cool is that just for the guys who've been at the program for a while to end in a game like this?
Yeah, I think just to be able to see the growth of the team, and they're a big part of that, of where we're going. And now to be able to have a meaningful game to close the regular season out, I think is huge.
All right, question of the week. Favorite Thanksgiving side dish?
Oh, the side dish. Let's go. Man, what side dishes? Well, I guess green bean casserole. It's the only one I can think of right now. So,
Perfect.
Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
Yep. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Mashed potatoes.